North Korea is known for many things, namely their extreme isolationism, chubby dictator, and communist history, but not much is known about how exactly the country functions. You may be surprised to learn that their economy is far, far worse than people think. So let's get into it, but first we have to go back. Following the 1950s Korean War, Korea was split into two along the 38th parallel. The South became capitalist, aided by the West. The North became communist, aided by the Eastern Bloc. This meant that North Korea relied heavily on support from the likes of the Soviet Union and China to keep them afloat. This worked well at first. They started building a variety of industry and agriculture, performing even better than their southern counterpart. But the main drawback to growth was, and always will be, their ideology. They operate as a totalitarian, one-party state, with their entire national identity centered around a single person, the supreme leader. This policy of one person calling all the shots ultimately caused their deep, depressing downfall. Under the leadership of Kim Il-sung, North Korea embraced the philosophy of self-reliance. The government had complete control of the economic budget and rejected most foreign trade, instead funneling much of its resources into the military. Years of stagnation and debt defaults in the 80s put the nation on the brink of collapse. The dam finally broke when the Soviet Union dissolved in the early 90s. The only source of relief had disappeared, and North Korea plunged into crisis. The damage centered on agriculture, with a lack of fertilizer and inefficient farming practices, causing a widespread famine between 1994 to 98, claiming the lives of an estimated 500,000 people. This is yet another case of authoritarian socialism failing. By this point, South Korea had surged past them in all metrics: wealth, trade, technological development, you name it. Just look at the differences in infrastructure. The North looks frozen in time. Attitudes have changed slightly in recent years though. Kim Jong-un, leader since 2012, grew up in Switzerland, apparently enjoying basketball. Realizing capitalism actually worked, he began initializing some liberal reforms, allowing some private business for the first time. However, he would never allow the full replacement of central planning, so the economy is still very much Soviet-like. The state maintains an iron grip on production, distribution, and resource allocation. But the key feature that separates North Korea from other socialist models is its insistence on extreme isolation. Sanctions imposed due to its nuclear weapons program have significantly limited its engagement with the global economy. As a result, foreign investment is virtually non-existent, restricting avenues for capital inflow and technological advancement. This is what has caused its outdated time capsule look. While other countries flourish by assisting each other, North Korea choose to stay a loner. Despite recovering from the famine, food insecurity has been a constant problem plaguing the country. Due to the lack of reporting, no one really knows just how bad the situation is. All we see from inside is their own propaganda, suggesting everything looks perfect. We can confidently say though that this is not the case. The World Bank has estimated that 83% of people live on less than $2.15 a day. Although they have a decent employment rate of 78%, most are in poverty, working in military production. A good chunk of the economy is based in this sector. In fact, they have even been providing weapons to Russia during the Ukraine war. Their main focus, though, remains the building of their own military might. The leadership prioritizes its own survival above all else, so economic development is secondary to maintaining control, as well as the pursuit of nuclear ambitions. A huge amount of resource is exhausted into this area, just to provide a deterrence to any outside threat. In recent years, relations with the South have crumbled, with the North threatening nuclear attacks on a consistent basis. They seem to spend way too much time and money on screaming empty threats to provide the illusion of strength, rather than developing the nation to make life better for all. It is such a sad reality for all North Koreans trapped inside this miserable echo chamber. When looking ahead, it is difficult to provide hope for this nation as long as the Kim dynasty/personality cult remains in power. A complete reversal in attitude is needed. To begin global participation to nuclearization would be a good start. Unfortunately, the current model is doomed to fail further. However, hope can arrive if the future leadership somehow embraces change. It may be hard to imagine now, but with some international changes, there is a world where every country is forced to channel their resources towards economic self-improvement instead of merely military and deterrence. This North Korea would not only improve economically, but could also become a key member of East Asia, strengthening the entire Korean peninsula. This is not up to just North Korea. Every country can tip the world this direction. It just requires a major shift in geopolitical attitude. What do you think? Leave your thoughts below.